I remember I was a fifth grader in India. My siblings and my mother, we all went to watch a Hindi family drama where two brothers fought with each other to the extent of taking each other's lives. That scene had such a huge impact on my younger brother sitting next to me and on me that we both held each other's hands and cried. That memory is still etched in my heart and mind, even today. We are four siblings. I'm the oldest of the sibling. My younger brother's name is Rajendra, popularly known as Reggie. Our only sister Nina, and our youngest brother Birendra, aka Ben. My dad was a colonel in the Indian Army, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom. My dad was posted for 6 long years in the Chinese border, and our mother raised us 4 kids single-handedly and made sure that we really bonded as siblings together. When we were younger, within the family, the respect for the older brother was taught by the mom, love for the other 2 brothers, and a special love for our only sister. We used to play Holi together. What fun. Squirt guns with colored water. Diwali, have those noisy crackers going through. Wonderful times as siblings. But the gap between our siblings was very little, and we were often seen hanging out together. I remember an incident of yesteryears when at school, my youngest brother Ben was bullied by some kind of a bully. It took it for some time, but later on, he came and told me about the incident. So my younger brother Reggie and myself, we go out of the school, get this kid out, and tell him in no uncertain words that you mess with our brother again, you be ready to face dire consequences. I think that message was very well received. This is a very civil way I said that. I was a little civil while talking to him at that point in time. But that kid no longer bullied my brother. Dad being in the operation area for a long, protracted time, I had assumed the man of the house role, and I was very protective towards my siblings. We were one for all, and all for one. However, at sometimes the stage comes when we must all move on and live our own lives. At 16 and a half years of age, I went to join the National Defense Academy to train to become an army officer back in India. And folks, National Defense Academy, by no stretch of imagination, is like joining Iowa State or University of Iowa, the party college. It is one of the toughest training institutions in the world, and I have to confess that the first 2 weeks, most of us cried with pillows stuck to our faces. How I miss my mom's cooking. How much I miss the coddling of my mom back in India, and also missed my dad watching me play cricket. Incidentally, that was the first time that I had left home and gone outside the house premises. At NDA, during training, on the first day of the class, on the classroom, we wrote DLTGH. And that DLTGH stood for days left to go home. And every day we went to the class, we would reduce that number by 1 until it came to 0. Couldn't just wait to get back home to meet parents and siblings. After finishing my training in NDA and IMA, I was commissioned as a second lieutenant in a tank regiment in December 1978. After the commission got over, and during that phase of our lives, the communication with my siblings was there, but it was more through letters, the good old style of writing letters to each other. No cell phones, no FaceTime, nothing of that kind. After I joined the Army, after several years, I was injured on active duty, and I decided to leave the Army and take premature retirement and move to the United States because my youngest brother was here by that time. Well, the desire of mine to come to the US had been there for a very, very long time, thanks to those lovely Hollywood movies. No, I'm just kidding. But I used to listen to the Voice of America radio stations when I was young, every day in the morning, while my other friends listened to Indian radio stations. I decided to check out and come to the United States for myself, all by myself first, before getting my family hook, line, and sinker. So in March of 1993, I came to Chicago to visit my brother Reggie. I was wearing a suede jacket, a shirt, and a suede pant, knowing that March in Chicago is going to be cold. At the Delhi airport, somehow I forgot my jacket because it was March is too hot in Delhi. I forgot my jacket. And there it was in the plane with a shirt and suede trousers. When we landed in Chicago, there was a huge snowstorm. And I said to myself, and the pilot said the temperatures were well below zero. And I told myself, welcome to America, Amar. You wanted to come over here. So, while everybody was, all the passengers were busy putting on their thick coats and jackets, there I was, getting off the plane, just a plain shirt and my suede trousers. Because of the snow, we had to get onto the tarmac, from the tarmac to the bus, and then we would go to the terminal. Getting out of that aircraft was like being hit, like no other. Windy city, winds, minus sub-zero temperatures, and very bitterly cold. I almost froze to death. But not for long, because you know why? When I went to the waiting area, who was there to receive me? My brother. And what do I see in his hands? A thick jacket.
Oh.
And after giving him a big bear hug, I asked him, how the heck did you know that I was not coming with a jacket on? He smiled and said, hey, don't I know you? I'm your brother. It didn't take long for me to pick up the phone and call my wife back in India to say, we should plan to come to the United States. Because in the first couple of days of mine here, what got my attention was the lovely laws and the systems that we have over here, which I was so used to back in the Indian Army as well. So we started to make plans. After several years of serving in the Army, I took premature retirement. And I told my brother that we would be coming over here. I told my wife that we'd be coming over here. I came to the United States, trained as a manager in an oil company. And after my training got over, my boss asked me, where do you want to go, Denver or Des Moines? I said, Denver or Des Moines? I have no idea. The only thing I knew that both cities' names started with the letter D. That's all I knew. So I called my lifeline Reggie in Chicago and asked him, where should I move to? And he said, Denver. I said, okay, thank you. And he said, wait. And then he was in Chicago, Reggie was in Chicago. And he said, if you move to Denver, we'll see you twice a year, him and his wife and family, kids. But if we were in Des Moines, he would see us once a month. That was a no-brainer. We chose Des Moines, and I chose Des Moines to stay over here, and have been here since the past 24 years in West Des Moines. But the equation was still not complete. Two of us here in the US, two siblings back in India. There had to be something that we had to do. So Reggie and I, we talked over and over again, and I would call my my brother and sister, and motivate them and coach them and guide them and tell them to hone their skills so that when they came to the United States, they could get a job. Well, the plan of action was enforced and they were doing what they were supposed to do. Sometime in the mid of 2006, my younger brother came with his family in Chicago. They now live in New York as a family, wife and two kids. And several years later, our sister with her family was coming in. Three of us we went to San Diego airport to receive her. Every second at the airport seemed like an hour for us. Finally, the plane landed, we met our sister, met in the waiting area, hugged, kissed each other, and even shed some tears of happiness. That was the happiest day of my life. 4 siblings, all of us here with no parents. Tragically, my mom died in 78 and dad in 91. So what was left of the family was us siblings. And all of us who are here now in the United States with our respective families. And so I make a joke of it. We own Interstate 80. Brother, New York. 2 of us here in the Des Moines area. Sister, California. Amongst us, we cover the length of the United States. Closeness between our siblings has gotten the cousins close as well. And I pray and hope that the legacy that I learned from my parents of being close as siblings, I can pass it on to the others in the family, and they are as strong siblings as we are even today. Thank you.